awareness about startup and related ecosystem by our innovation ambassador, Dr. V. Jagadish sir. Dr. V. Jagadish sir currently working as head EDC Innovation and Incubation Center and associate professor in Department of Civil Engineering. He worked for 4 years in industry and 11 years as a scientist in Research Institute under MOEF Government of India at Bangalore. He delivered more than 150 invited and guest lectures at various international and national forums. He has chaired or co-chaired more than 15 sessions in international and national conference, around 20 years of teaching industry and research experience. So I invite sir to the meet.
Yeah, thank you, Suma, for introducing me. My name is Dr.
Yes.
Jagadish.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all. Maybe I'll not take much time. It's a quick 20-minute session, which will give you a kind of overview about innovation and entrepreneurship and startup and ecosystem. So let me get into the topic directly, and then so the talk will be a little motivative. See, why we are working, why we are studying. So whatever we are doing it for our society around us. So when you look into the United Nations Organization Sustainable Development Goals, sustainability is very important concept because the world is transforming very fast, and a lot of pandemics you have seen now, and the resources what we have, it has to be there for even our future generations also. So we have to utilize in a effective manner, and then wherein our future should not suffer. So that is the sustainable way of living, and there are 3 dimensions of sustainable development as per UNO, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So as the definition itself mentioned as the development, it should meet the present. At the same time, we should not compromise in categorizing the needs of the future generations. And it is also very important to handle 3 dimensions. One is economy and social inclusion. That means, you have to, make the people around you into your culture or into society building, and also environmental protection, very, very important thing. So you need to study about your surrounding very well. So we are all engineering course, that's why we call it as a professional course. So how to be professional, and in the process of learning various things, what all we should know. So it is very important to read your society, what is surrounding you. Anyway, if you look into the sustainable development goals, there are another way of looking into these sustainable development goals. There are 5 P's one has to look into, or one has to concentrate. One is the people. So we have to reduce the poverty and hunger for all the people who are with us, at least our surroundings. And we have to ensure their dignity and also equality, very, very important. And where we are living, the planet, so we have to protect our planet. So at the same time, the natural resources. If natural resources are dwindling, that means if you are utilizing very fast, what will happen? So it may not be there for the future generations. At the same time, it may affect the ecosystem. And partnership, it is very important to have the global partnership. So give and take. And also the peace, very, very well quoted by various world leaders. The peace is very, very important parameter nowadays, because people are fearing about the next world war. and we have to have the peace in out of these if you have to develop sustainably. And prosperity, yeah, we have to prosper together, all, not only you, people surrounding you also. So with a little introduction about the sustainability. Sustainability is a very big word, and it is a very important parameter. So the whole world goes on the lines of sustainability. But tomorrow you become the engineers, and market is changing. You should know how the market is changing as a civil engineering professionals. So initially there is an agriculture revolution. Then there is an industrial revolution. That is why we have the automotives into picture. And then now it is happening digital revolution almost. And now it is industry 4.0. So what kind of workforce people are looking into? So that is why you have to be ready. So I will divide the entire workforce into three categories. One is the physical labor, second is the cognitive labor, and third is the emotional labor. So initially in the sense, even now, usually the physical labor paid less, cognitive labor is next in the pyramid, and the more you the paid by the emotional labor. I'll tell you what this is. Suppose take the case of the physical labor. In physical labor itself, there are three categories: manual labor, skilled worker, precision worker. Take the case of the person who is handling the material at the site. So he just does he carry a particular material from one point to another point. He doesn't think. So those paid less. Skilled workers are like, suppose you know how to make the wall, or you know how to make a particular component. So you have a skill how to do it. So they paid little more. And next stage is precision workers. Precision workers are like the people who get paid still more than the skilled workers. Precision workers are like, suppose head of the carpenter, or head of a the workforce, wherein he knows better, because at the end of the product done, so he'll check like whether the product is proper or not. So he's having a very good skill than the skilled worker. So exact to the dimensions. So this is the ladder of the physical labors. That means manual work, you don't think, you just do whatever they say. So they paid less, then skilled, and then precision. When it comes to the cognitive labor, we are all comes under cognitive labor. Cognitive labor is the people who memorizes. Take the case of the bus conductor. Bus conductor, what he does, he actually remembers from one point to another point what is the amount he has to collect for a ticket. So his job is to memorize the things and do the work. And next comes to the analysis. Suppose if you do the circuit analysis, or you do the software analysis, or you do the structural analysis, they paid more when compared to the people who does memorization. So next comes the people who does the optimization, who I'll give the example of the people who does the work at various sectors. I'll take the software optimization. It is like they do the they learn the machine learning, or they do the programming in artificial intelligence and do the optimization. Suppose if I wanted to buy a shoe in Amazon, what I do, I'll just book it, and I'll think I'll put it in the cart, or I don't like it. Then I come back and see my Facebook or email. Then suddenly advertisement will pop out in regard with the shoe. So what does that mean? The programming, the person who does that program, he actually knows that what all you are. This is called analytics, data analytics. He actually captures what all you are, trying to book. So the similar ad will come when you open your Facebook or Gmail account or something. So the people who does these kind of optimization, they get paid. And then the higher order in this cognitive labor is who does creative thinking or critical thinking. They paid more. take the case of CEOs, vice president. What does they do? What do they do? They don't even do the programming. They don't even do the manufacture the product. They sit in that chair and they entirely look into that. What next we have to do? How to take a particular company the next 5 years into a different level. So they spend a lot of time in creative thinking and critical thinking to take the company to a next level. Next comes the emotional level. It seems in future these paid more. The people who creates awareness, who shows empathy, who creates relationships, or who works on ethics, this we call it as emotional level, psychology, because nowadays the work culture is totally different. So people are, becoming more sensitive, and they feel the work what they're doing is too much pressurizing. So you need people who take care. That means who balance their emotions, or because that the kind of suicidal tendency among the people, and so emotionally you have to make them set right. So the people who does that, they pay more, it seems. This is how the market is changing. So initially people talk about IQ, so Einstein and all, what is your intelligent quotient? So now later the market or the industries are looking at EQ. EQ is emotional quotient. So how you cooperate, how do you sustain in a given environment? So you join engineering, and how do you behave with your classmates? Suppose somebody teases you, can you able to take that emotion? And are you reverting back in what way? And does it hurt the other person? Or in a smart way, can you able to balance it? Or how do you emotionally behave in a kind of environment? Suppose tomorrow you join in a company, so you have all new people and different people having a different kind of psychologies. So how do you manage each and everyone? So you have to meet the people, you should know how they behave, and how do you behave back again, what way you behave. So emotional quotient is becoming one of the important parameter. So now IQ is over, EQ is over. People are looking at, the companies are looking at, knowledge is one part, because if they train you, definitely you become a good worker. But people are looking at whether are you able to emotionally balanced. So now comes the AQ. AQ is adaptability quotient. Are you able to sustain in a given environment? That means, can you able to adopt that kind of environment? So you know that in engineering college, your parents will give you the lunch box. You come to the college, you just attend the classes. Afternoon, you have the lunch. You go back home, and then you watch TV, watch some Netflix, Amazon, whatever, and you sleep it. And Sundays, you sleep up to 10 o'clock. So once you join a company, you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to change your timings, and you have to adapt to the situation. Suppose suddenly your boss calls you. Suppose your parents pamper you from the childhood, and suddenly after the engineering you join in a company, and then first day itself they ask you, don't you know this? Because this much you don't know. So it may get hurt because you have got pampered for so long, and then you don't know how to adapt to the situation. So that is why it is very important to work with teams, go out, explore, talk to people. Suppose I always tell, because I'm from a civil engineering background, I always tell my students, you go to different sites, talk to labor, go to different product manufacturing sites like solid concrete block manufacturers, cement industries, whatnot. You have the world is plenty. It is open. You go talk to them, go to places, visit, try to understand the kind of environment. So when you know, like, okay, this is what happening. Okay, this state, these are the weather conditions, these are the people, these are their habits, food habits, whatever. So after 8 o'clock, nobody comes out. In some cases, if you go to Northeast, after 7, nobody comes out in some of the remote areas, because I've traveled length and breadth of India. So you need to know and you need to adopt various situations, very important. And when it comes to the, the kind of employment and the kind of job roles, it is changing very fast. It seems in future, so they projected that home health aides, their job roles are more nurse practitioners. We are already seeing, because of the pandemic, because the health sector is growing fast, statisticians, like, the kind of data analytics, medical assistants, software development applications, information security analysts, that is what, it is again becoming threat. So these jobs are becoming more and more, and the jobs are dwindling. Some of the jobs like data entry operators, electrical and electronic assemblers, postmasters, this is already post thing is going off, because of the kind of data transmission that is happening. So the employment and the kind of job roles also changing. You have to adapt to the situation. This is what I mean to say. The future workforce is, it is in figures. If you see, the automation is becoming real. The people are automating many of the industries. So risk of automation is real. So it depends on country to country, and it is changing significantly, 14 to 32%. And the labor market is transforming. See, because manufacturing sector is going down, but services sector is picking up. And the social protection sector, many adults don't have jobs. Do you know that? Once you, software after 50, they are, getting suffocated. And they're looking for kind of, they want to become entrepreneurs. They're becoming social entrepreneurs. They started going for organic farming. So you need to know now itself, see how the world is changing, where you are, what kind of offbeat jobs you have to look into, and how do you become entrepreneur. Try doing it. Still, I'm doing it. Last 1 month, I'm working on some kind of bike, that is bicycle, that is on bamboo bicycle. I'm making almost, the frame is ready, and we are trying to fit it in a month. It comes out. So for that, last 2 months, I'm doing cycling every day, 30 kilometers. Just now I finished my 70 kilometers ride, and weekends I'm going for 100 kilometers ride. So you need to understand what you are making. So you have to experience that product. It is very important. Whenever you're doing something, you have to experience first, and you need to know the components and how it works and what are the changes you can make, so on. So innovation is thinking differently, creative, and very important. All the solutions, inventions, it should impact the social, and it should impact on social and economic value, and it should meet the needs of the people. Very important. And it can be innovation or the entrepreneur. You can do it in 2 different ways. One is the product, either product or a process. Product industry is making a new product, which is accepted, which should be accepted by the society, wherein number of, suppose take an iron box, whatever. So processing industry is something like giving the services. It is basically servicing industry. So you have already product, maybe the bike repair shop, or computer servicing. So already product is there. Service sector is very important. So where India is, it is very interesting to see where India is right now. So in 2015, our rank is 81. So last 5 years, we have jumped into 28 notches from 81. So we are into top 50 nations in the world who does innovation. So this innovation index will be given every year by UN World Intellectual Property Organization in association with Cornell University. So they give the GIA ranks. So we are now in top 50. Who are first? You would like to know. Switzerland remain number 1. Switzerland, they do a lot of innovations. This innovation ranking is given on based on the number of filings. That means the patents you file, the number of mobile applications you develop, how much amount you are spending on the education, and how many scientific and technical publications that comes out from the various engineering colleges and universities. And Sweden is the second, USA, UK, Netherlands, Finland, and so on. So Israel also in the first top 10. As I mentioned, the innovation must be either for the product or a service, and it should be affordable by more people, at the same time low income levels, without compromising the quality. Very, very important. It should reach each and every people. At the same time, quality should not be compromised. So, saying so much, I would like to give one such example. We just, when we started the Institution Innovation Council here at PVPSIT, we motivate a lot of students. So when these students are at first year, we have participated in, the one of the contest by MHRD, okay, Smart India Hackathon it is. And then the students came forward and said, like, we would like to do and work on wind turbines. Then we said, yes, go ahead. So we just give some kind of direction. So this is the prototype video they made. 1 second, it is loading. Let me share it with you. Maybe I'll share my entire screen, then you can easily. So this is the model they made initially. So it's a vertical axis wind turbine. So mechanical and civil students joined. They made this, the turbine, the helical turbine. So wherein you can keep it on the middle of the median, wherein the vehicles will pass, this turbine will rotate, and to increase the power, we use the gearbox and alternator, wherein it converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So these are the wind blades. So this is how it rotates, and then it rotates the dynamo, and then it generates a little amount of power. So this concept, when we presented Smart India Hackathon, so the result is, we have got second prize. We have got second prize in Smart India Hackathon. Okay, let me get back into the PowerPoint. I'm going to close it in another 10 minutes. I just wanted you to give some kind of motivation, because very important that so this. This happened in our college itself. 1 second, let me share the presentation again. The window. Yeah. So we bagged the second prize at national level, 50,000 cash prize, and also at the national level in the energy sector. So what is that? Later, the whole team came into the ETV program. Okay, so it is a Yuva program. That ETV Yuva program. It has come. Okay, the entire program has come. Anyway, the video. So we started working on various aspects within our college. Combining. It is very important to bring different branches together. So I started working on thermal comfort studies of buildings, because Vijayawada, we are thermally not comfort inside a house. You become suffocated. So we need to measure what is the outside temperature, what is the inside temperature, how to make it more thermally comfort. So to measure the temperature, I start learning Arduino, Raspberry Pi, and the thermal sensors, temperature sensors, and collect the humidity sensors, and collect the information through IoT. So we data transfer we did, and we started measuring it. We did one project. Anyway, this is about some kind of innovations. I just wanted to give 2 examples. Now it comes to the entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is nothing but problem solving. What is that problem? If that problem is faced by enough people, and for that problem, if they are willing to pay the price. Suppose if you have a solution for that problem, whether it is a product or service, you can start it. You can do that, startup. And you don't worry, some other company solving the issue already. Solution could be differently structured. This is very important. That's why you have like Uber, Ola, but even still a lot of things have come, right? When it comes to the food apps, you have a number of apps or number of companies. You take the case of the biryani. Every center, you have the biryani center. But still, they structure it differently. They say like Donne biryani or some biryani or some Hyderabadi dum biryani. So they go it with a ulacharu biryani. So they go it in a different way. So I'm just telling you, this is one is food sector, one is the service sector. So you have a number of things, car wash. So people tried in differently. So but it may not worked out for many of the people. So what I'm saying, if enough people are facing the issue, if they would like to pay the price, and if you have a solution for that product or a service, definitely you can start it. And you need to understand the business functions, how it works. And it is always start with a co-founder, because whether it is a sorrow, happiness, you can definitely share, whether it is a loss or profit. And it is always to take a mental help, very important initial stages. You need to know, you need to take the mental help. He'll guide you like, whether, you can go ahead in this direction or not. And also he'll help you out in raising the investment through bankers or whoever the investors. And you should have a plan for what is the next 3 months, next 6 months, next 9 months, next 12 months, how to go about it and so on. You always have to take the feedback from the people. Many people, they hide the ideas and they don't discuss. That's where suddenly it comes out, but it fails. So just one example I'm giving, he's my friend. His name is Parmeshwaran Iyer. He started his company that is called Bamboo Pecker. In 2009, he was working for a stock market company. Then he started with a passion in bamboo. He started a craft and furniture, and then even entered into bamboo construction. And the kind of products he made on his own with a little investment. So these are the kind of structures he made, constructions. You can see this is one of the restaurants, and this is how. These are typical structures he made it using one of the material. He's doing exports. He's supplying furniture to various restaurants. These are various types of furnitures. And this person, he is my friend. His name is Sunil Arke. He's the CEO of 3 services. Last 20 years, he's doing his entrepreneurship. His name is Ajay Karthik. He's a founder and managing partners. 5 years he worked with. So his name is Bhrugu Shraddha. He started a Relevant Labs. After B.tech, he's having a dispenser, touchless dispenser. He's one more person. He's working on, again, bamboo furniture. So, the kind of furniture he makes, he started design studio. So each furniture he sells for 70,000. So there is another way. It is like a social entrepreneurship, very important. Many people, they revive and they closely work with various villages. They try to get into the villages, trying to understand the problem, solve it on their own. So his name is Subbarao. I met him recently in the sense 2 years back. He's just 10th passed out. He started his own company called Ion Technologies. Now he is making some of the small products for some of the the components, even for the Chinese and Japanese people. So startup is nothing but it consists of various components. Like you have to start with innovation. Then it has to be incubated in the sense the starting stage of your product or service. And then mentoring. So you have to take mentorship, and then you should share the co-working place, and you have to raise the funding, and you should have a fabrication and testing facility if it is a product making, and you should have a proper networking, and then you should market it, and you have to accelerate the business once you market properly. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs who have come out from our college. One is Suraj. He's doing very good. His company name is Storage Buddy. And one, Karthik, is now in final year. He started on his own. So this is a Storage Buddy website. And you can just go through the Storage Buddy website, and Soundarya Jewelers he made, that Karthik made. And students visit various places, and they do the full-scale trials, and they're giving. They're starting on their own. This is the entrepreneur journey in Bangalore. One of the person, he did a lot of work, closely worked with the solid concrete block site, and then he started on his own later. So his name is Ravi Teja, a very good friend of mine. He started Unplan. So we are doing a lot of programs and bringing a lot of entrepreneurs. Because of the pandemic last 2 years, it was a little slow, but last 1 year it was a little slow, but we are doing a lot of activities. You can voluntarily come out, and then you can meet me, and then we'll definitely guide you. So it should be run by the students, I can say. Students should take part, and they should come out. You have to explore and then experience the journey of entrepreneurs, and trying to know how you can become an entrepreneur, or at least you should know like how the market is transforming every year to year. So with that, we've come to the end of the presentation, and it is very important, as Abdul Kalam said, thinking is progress. Non-think, if you don't think, it will become stagnation, whether to a person or an organization or to the country. So thinking leads to action. Knowledge without action is useless. So knowledge with action, it will convert into prosperity. We all prosper together. We all grow together. The society will flourish. With that, thank you so much. In spite of this Sunday, many people having a busy schedule. Hope it creates some kind of the spark in you, and then you can meet me anytime. In college, my room number is 249. You can contact me anytime. You can come meet me, share your ideas. You can discuss a lot of things. Free to work. Till now, I discussed a lot with more than 5,000 people individually. Students I've interacted. Don't worry, and come discuss, and then we can make it a better place. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
I think we'll end the presentation. Okay. Thank you all the participants. Anyone having any doubts, we'll take it in the next session, because Sunday it's already 1:30. Okay. So thank you so much. I'm signing out.
Thank you.
You want to ask like 1 or 2 questions, you can ask if you would like to ask. You can unmute and ask if you want. Anyway, otherwise you can come to my room anytime, and you can meet. We'll have a brainstorming session later. If you have any ideas, we will present it. Sir, why everyone is using bamboo for starters? Why not other materials? Okay, if you are a civil engineer, yeah, bamboo is a natural material because it grows very fast. I'm talking about the material, and when it comes to the wood, if you would like to start, wood is becoming scarce because of the Forest Amendment Act. You cannot cut the trees because of but this grows very fast. In a day, it grows even 2 inch sometimes. Okay, and yeah, a lot of startups are coming up. True, because if there is a market, startup will come, right? So as I mentioned, if somebody is willing to pay the price for whatever you are making, you can go ahead. That is as simple as such. Thank you, Dharmateja, for asking question. If there are no questions, I'm signing out. If you want to ask, you can ask, type. We'll just wait for another minute, or you can unmute.